everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time to get started on the next step of our relic weapons. You may notice right off the bat that I am starting this actually well ahead of time, well in advance. Currently, as of this recording, I have not even started patch 2.1. I'm starting this step of the relic weapon in advance because the next step and this step, these next two steps are going to be very, very grind heavy, and they're going to take a while. This step will take about 3 to 5 hours, depending on your luck, per weapon. And the next step after this will take about 12 hours per weapon. So I'm starting these in advance, just so that I have time to, actually do it between everything else that I need to take care of. Because, yeah, I'm not doing that all in like one day or anything. I refuse. I'm starting in advance so that I don't have to worry as much about the grinding when I actually get to this, when this episode comes out. Alright then, let's go ahead and speak with Geralt and get started on Up in Arms. Geralt appears to be in a spot of bother. It's you! God, I never thought I'd be glad to see ya. Just the other day, this old bloke from some faraway land suddenly appeared. He's been bugging me ever since, asking about putting souls in relics or something. None of it makes a whit of sense to me. Can't the man see how busy I am pounding kettles all bloody day? I ain't got the time to be humoring the elderly. What's more, you're the one with a relic, ain't that right? If there's anyone this Jalzin bloke ought to be bothering, I'd reckon it's you. Run along then and keep the old coot off my back. And the saga begins indeed. Alright, Jalzin, what do you have for me? Ah, the impropriety. In my land, the elderly are treated with deference, and visitors received with honor. You must excuse me, adventure. I have endured a trying sea voyage to meet with Eorzea's greatest weaponsmith, only to find that he is the greatest bore I have ever had the displeasure of knowing. But what is this? Your weapon? Unless I am gravely mistaken, 'tis a relic infused with Thavnarian mist. Marvelous, marvelous! Ah, but where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jalzin, and I hail from the Near Eastern city-state of Radzat-Han. I am an alchemist by trade. It has been my life's work to study the enhancement of arms through soul infusion. Verily, Thavnarian mist is one of the fruits of my toils. Upon learning that the elixir had come to some prominence in Eorzea, I journeyed here with the intent of exploring new possibilities in my research. I want but for a subject to proceed. If you would be that subject, your weapon will become further enhanced. Will you agree to assist me, adventure, and for your troubles come to possess a mightier relic? Let's do it! Sure! A decision you will not regret. But without further ado, allow me to explain what my research will entail. Now, I trust you are aware that ether permeates all things in our world. What you may not know, however, is that ether is found in greater concentrations in Eorzea than elsewhere. When a weapon infused with a quasi-soul such as your relic is used to slay a living being in this ether-rich land, a peculiar phenomenon occurs. The ether released by the fallen creature resonates with your weapon, and agglomerates into a crystal which I have dubbed Atma. It must be noted that this occurs only on rare occasions due to factors I have yet to identify. Now, as you may have already gathered, Atma is essentially the crystallized soul of a living being, and these crystals hold the key to strengthening your weapon. According to my research, 12 unique pieces of Atma are required, meaning they must be acquired from 12 different foes. See the deed done, adventure, and you shall hold in your hand such power as you have never known. Alright. By participating in certain fates while equipped with the relic weapon Zenith, which is the second stage that we got before, you may obtain an Atma crystal. The locations of the fates and the Atma yielded are as follows. Central Shroud yields Atma of the Maiden, Southern Thanalan, Atma of the Scorpion, Upper Lenosia, Atma of the Water Bearer, East Shroud, Atma of the Goat, Eastern Thanalan, Atma of the Bull, Middle Lenosia, Atma of the Ram, Western Thanalan, Atma of the Twins, Outer Lenosia, Atma of the Lion, and Lower Lenosia, Atma of the Fish. Last set, North Shroud has the Atma of the Archer, Central Thanalan has the Atma of the Scales, and Western Lenosia has the Atma of the Crab. The information can be reviewed in the completed journal for the quest Up in Arms, which can be found under Weapon Enhancement side quests. And so the Atma Grind begins. This used to be much harder. It used to be that each fate would give you about a 1 in 8 chance of dropping an Atma. Thankfully, nowadays the chance is more like 1 in 4. It is a 25% drop rate for Atma. Now that being said, I'm not satisfied with just being told by the community, and I think by the devs as well, that the drop rate's 25%. So when I was going through this on my main account, like nearly a year ago, I tallied up the number of fates in each individual area I got in order to get each Atma. Since you need 1 of each of the 12 Atma per weapon, and there are 10 relic weapons, if you want to do all of your relic weapons, it takes 10 of each type of Atma. Hypothetically, that averages about 40 fates. Now, if you remember, I've been doing a lot of fate grinding recently, and this is exactly why. This is the exact reason why I've been doing so much fate grinding. I wanted to be sure that I had already shown all of the fates in these areas before we got to the Atmas, so that I didn't have to worry about, like, some of the fates give achievements and whatnot. I didn't have to worry about, like, oh, have I shown these before? Listen, I'm weird. Anyways, while I did tally up the number of fates that it took on my main account to get the first 10 Atmas that I needed for those 10 relics, guess what I'm gonna do again? That's not enough data for me. I think I can get even better data if I count these Atmas as well. See how many fates it takes to get these Atmas. I'm gonna be counting how many it takes to get the next 10, or I guess next 120 Atmas, the next 10 from each area. So based on my current data, North Shroud has a drop rate of about 24.4%, Central Shroud has a drop rate of about 32.3%, East Shroud about 20%, East Thanalan 16.4%, South Thanalan 15.9%, Central Thanalan 27.8%, West Thanalan 14.7%, Lower Lenosia 25.6%, Middle Lenosia 26.3%, West Lenosia 19.6%, Upper Lenosia 25.6%, and finally Outer Lenosia 37.0%, for an overall drop rate of about 22.1%. Those numbers are a little bit all over the place, and you can tell that some areas I got lucky, some areas I did not get lucky. So I am gathering this data so I can get even more precise information on the drop rates, and I will definitely be reporting that once we're done with this. You do need to have a Zenith Relic equipped in order to get the Atma though. They're not just gonna drop from doing these fates after completing that quest. The 2 requirements in order to have a chance of getting an Atma from these fates is you have a Zenith Relic equipped, and you have completed the quest Up in Arms. Okay, wish me the best of luck, and I will report back once I get an Atma here in Central Shroud. Oh, I am cutting back in real quick because I just remembered, and this is important. This is a fantastic opportunity to get experience for your Chocobo companion. If you have not been raising your Chocobo companion, now is the time. You can get so much experience for them by doing this. And it's actually for that reason that I'm going to be slowly doing this Atma Grind, in order to make sure that I'm always working towards the challenge log entry of defeat 100 enemies of comparable level to your own. Since Fates always level sync you, you're always going to be getting progress towards those challenge log entries. This is one of the best ways, doing the Atma Grind, to grind your Chocobo's experience. It is so worth it. And it makes it a lot easier, too, to have your companion helping. Alright, and on my 4th fate, I got my first Atma, the Atma of the Maiden. Alright, now moving on to the next area. Where to next? Okay, took a surprising number of fates to do. I think it was about 7? I'll have the count on my own time. I'm working on a full spreadsheet of like how many fates it takes me to get however many Atma. But I finally got the Atma here in Lower Lenosia. Heading on to the next area, let's see. Let's head on to... where do I want to go next? Oh my god, finally! It took me like 13 fates to get the Atma of the Ram from Middle Lenosia. I don't know why it took so long. I just got a really unlucky streak, I guess. Alright, next up for the fate grind to get the Atma, where are we going next? Okay, got the Atma for Upper Lenosia in just 2 fates. That went nice and quick, unusually so, but hey. Gotta have good luck sometimes after the last couple of Atma we've had to gather. Alright, next location. While I was working on fates to try and get more Atma, it looks like Juniper hit the next rank. So let's go ahead and feed you another Thavnarian onion. Get your max rank up to 15 and teach you a new skill. We finished off healer, so we're gonna focus on attacker primarily. And we've got spares, so we'll stick them into Choco Kick. Okay, Choco Kick and Choco Rush, nice. Now back to working on fates. Did it have to take 16 fates to get me that Atma? Oh well, I got my Atma for East Shroud, so on to the next location. Alright, got one of the Atmas, or I got the Atma over here in Central Thanalan, and that took me 7 fates to do. I'm having rough luck with these last few. Alright, next up. Okay, got the next Atma over in Western Thanalan on my 8th fate. Oh, I'm just having the worst luck right now. It's very unfortunate. Why is it taking so many fates to get these? It should only be taking like 4 on average. Oh well, progress. Alright, next up. Alright, our next Atma is coming from Western Lenosia. Took me 5 fates to get that one. Alright, moving onwards. Alright, next one is coming from Outer Lenosia, where I got that one on my 4th fate. Not bad, a little bit ahead of the curve. I've gathered so much data at this point. Almost 900 fates I have done between this file and my main, and I'm pretty damn confident that the drop rate is 20%, but I'm gonna keep collecting data because I'm like that. But yes, there we go, got one out of Outer Lenosia. Next up. Alright, next one is coming from South Thanalan, where I got that on the 5th fate, I believe. Right on par, and oh my goodness, South Thanalan I have been really lucky with, but also there's just a lot of fates here, so a lot of opportunities to get Atma. But I've ended up with 14. To get all 10 relic weapons, you only need 10. So, oops. Also, before I forget, because I keep forgetting, while I was working on this, Juniper hit rank 15. Let's teach you some new skills. Let's see, you're maxed out on healer. Let's get you a little bit higher on attacker. And then you're a little short to get that increased accuracy for defender. That's fine. You're getting close to maxed out on attacker, and then we can put all of the remaining points into defender. And let's also make sure we fed you a Thavnarian onion while we're at it. Where are my onions? Where are my onions? Onions? They're like, okay, it's right there. Plain sight, still couldn't see it. Okay, that was my last onion. Your max is now 16. I need to buy a few more onions, but you also eventually get a few from side quests in Heavensward. So I think we are coming up on the point where I'm not going to actually be increasing Juniper's rank any further. I'll double check how many Thavnarian onions you get from side quests, because they are expensive. They're like 100,000 each. They're expensive, so I don't want to be buying as if I can get them from side quests, I'll get them from side quests, and I don't have to buy them. And if that means Juniper doesn't get maxed out for a while, then Juniper doesn't get maxed out for a while, and that's fine. Anyways, I believe there's just 2 more Atma we need to grab, so there we go. Got this one in just 3 fates. Nice, really beating the par on this one. Okay, now if I have counted correctly, we have just one Atma left to get, not counting the fact that I have like a million that I've picked up off screen or by doing the fate grinding episodes. But you understand why I'm doing those now. So I can at least I have shown the fates and I don't have to show the whole dang grind because my brain is weird. Okay, last one. Let's go get it. Alright, took 8 fates, but I finally got the last Atma, which comes from right back here in North Shroud. Alright, with all 12 Atma collected, well, actually, way more than 12, I have so many. In total, across my main file and this file, I've collected 189 Atma, over 934 fates? Oh dear. And I still got a lot to go if I want to get all the relic weapons on this character, which I am intending to do for some reason. Alright, but now that we have all 12, let's head back to Jalzen. And what? Do you want me to just hand you the weapon? Relic Weapon Zenith Enhancement. Here we are. Through the power of Atma, I shall imbue your relic with such might as it has never known. Lend me the object you wish enhanced, and I shall see the deed done. Alright, go ahead and take my Omnilix. Oh, right, I need to take it off of me. I need to unequip it, and then I can hand it over. Might actually be easier if I switch jobs. Okay, where did the Scholar Weapons? There we go. The Cognitome or the Holy Key of Titan? Let's do the Cognitome. Alright, here. Take my Omnilix. Ha! 12 unique varieties of Atma. You have done well, my dear adventurer. Pray leave the rest to me. I require but a moment. It is done. True to my theory, the souls housed within the Atma have merged with your relic. Take it up once more, adventure, and savor the newfound power that courses through it. And our Relic Weapon Zenith has been reborn through the power of Atma. If you wish to have another Relic Weapon Zenith enhanced, you may do so by repeating the process of attaining 12 unique pieces of Atma and then presenting the objects to Jalzan. Making progress on that front. Oh goodness, I still got a lot of Atma to go, but at least some areas. Looks like 4 areas out of the 12 I have completely gotten all 10 Atma that I need. So let's go ahead and equip our new Omnilix Atma. It is item level 100, Vitality plus 30, Determination plus 26, Mind 31, Spell Speed 37. Excellent. Let's go ahead and equip that, and our item level goes up slightly. Only slightly, because it's only a 10 item level increase on the weapon. But that is progress. Okay, let me go ahead and switch over to my main, and we can show off what all of the Atma Relics look like, though I suspect they're not going to look too much different from the Zenith Relics. I'll meet you over there. Alright, made it back to Hearst Mill over on my main. Let's check out what all of those Atma Relics look like. Show me those replicas. Hold on. It is this one, right? Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at these Atmas. Oh, please put the clothes on. There we go. And here we go. Let me take a look at the weapons themselves and draw it. So here's the Paladin's weapon. Next up, we can take a look at the shield for the Paladin. Nice and shiny weapon. Are they all that different from the Zenith weapons? I guess they're less glowy, more shiny, is what it looks like. Alright, next up will be the Monk weapon. Yeah, less glowy, more shiny. Still looks like it's basically the same model. A little disappointing, but there will be bigger changes as we go on. Next up is the Warrior's weapon. Nice big axe. Here, let's sheath that weapon so we can get a look at it on the back. Very, very, very shiny, actually. Goodness. No, don't save the outfit. Oh, please put the clothes back on. There we go. Alright, next up after Warrior is going to be... That would be the Dragoon weapon. Oh yeah, definitely hard to look at some of these weapons when they're actually drawn. So, sheath it to take another look. You're very rainbow, actually. Ah, controls weird. Why is left to right inverted? Actually, all the controls are inverted. Oh no. Okay, after Dragoon, we have the Bard weapon. Pretty nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, the Atma weapons are a little bit underwhelming, but that's kind of what I expected. Next up, the ninja weapons. Here, let's zoom in so we can get a closer look at these. Honestly, I don't know how much there is you can do with ninja weapons. They're just daggers. Next up is going to be... This is the White Mage's weapon. Yeah, same design. That gem is now a nice red. Was it red before? It might have been. It was too glowy to tell. After White Mage, we have... This is gonna be Black Mage, I believe. Yeah, turns the gem turns red here as well. Okay, 2 left. Next up will be Summoner. Let's take a look at that book. Still kind of a glossy bronze. Though that is a really bad font color to go on that color of page. That is too dark for a dark page. How do you even read that, Satora? I mean, yeah, it's readable, but... Also, Vitruvian Man. Hello there. Alright, and last one will be our Scholar weapon. The Last Resort is gonna be the name of the final version. I love that. Okay, take a look at the bindings. Got like another smaller book or something on the strapped on the back there. Yeah, that's a second smaller book. Interesting. It's got a nice flap that closes over when the book is closed. See, that's far more readable. That is far more readable. And there we go. There's our Atma weapons. Alright then, with that. What are we doing next? Let me take a look. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the next step of the relic weapons, because the next step is the longest and most tedious step of a Realm Reborn relic weapons, possibly of any of the relic weapons in all of Final Fantasy XIV. The next step nearly killed my desire to do a Realm Reborn relic weapons at all. But I recently got started on the Heavensward relics, and it actually makes your Realm Reborn relics worth it. You'll see why eventually when we get to the Heavensward relics. Anyways, the next step sucks, so I'm gonna get started on that right away so I can start working through it. The next step alone took me 6 months on my main. It was miserable. But let's see, next time on Final Fantasy XIV, we're checking in with the Kobold. And then next week, we're gonna be getting started on patch 2.2's main story at last. Alright then, I will see everyone next time back on the other Satora for that.